Welcome back. All right, so today we're going to be looking at Anton Kuryanov. He is a guy who came over in the 2008 European invasion. He went completely undrafted. He was skipped over by every team in the NHL. But he comes over in the European invasion, and while he is one of the most electric, game-defining players right now, he did not come into the league with a lot of fanfare. He is held off. He does not get signed on July 1st in free agency. He signed right before the season begins. He signs a 2-year contract with the Vancouver Canucks worth $3.4 million per year. And there's a little bit of hesitancy with that contract, especially after the first year. In 08-09, he plays all 82 games, 18 goals, 16 assists, 34 points. And in 7 playoff games, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. So not exactly lighting the league up like a lot of people expected. However, 18 goals, 34 points, not bad for a guy playing in his rookie year in the NHL. 09-10, 82 games again. He plays that season. 22 goals, 32 assists, 54 points. That contract looks very, very solid. $3.4 million for a guy who just produced 50-plus points in the league. However, he needs to get signed. He needs to get paid, or else he would be going back to UFA, and he does. July 10th, he signs a 4-year extension with the Vancouver Canucks worth $2.75 million. Clearly, Kuryanov loved being in Vancouver. He loves being in Vancouver, and he rewards them, giving them a big, big pay cut, kind of a prove-it deal in a way. After 22 goals and 54 points in 10-11 with Vancouver again, he plays all 82 games yet again. Kuryanov has not missed a single game due to injury. Kuryanov is just like everybody else in the HRHSL, has played every single game that they have been given the opportunity to play. So Curry again plays 82 games, 24 goals, 38 assists, 62 points, and in 5 playoff games, 1 assist. Was not that great in the playoffs. The entire Vancouver Canucks in that 2011 season were very solid. However, in the playoffs, they were just completely shut down. Kuryanov, though, with 24 goals, 62 points. Throughout his first 3 seasons, he's just gotten better, and that'll be a upward trend with Captain Curry, as he's been dubbed in Vancouver. Is he just gets better and better. He just keeps getting more and more points. His play keeps improving. However, the next season, technically, it stays the same. 11-12, he plays all 82 games, 30 goals, 32 assists for 62 points, and in 7 playoff games, just 2 assists. As the Canucks cannot get out of the first round. At this point, they are very, very much struggling to get out of the first round. 30 goals would set a new career high that year, obviously, for him. And 62 points would tie last year. However, in 12-13, he declines a little bit goal scoring wise, but his overall points get a lot better, and he has a pretty solid year. He plays all 82 games, 24 goals, 47 assists, 74 points, and in 6 playoff games, 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points that year. Captain Curry in that playoff run is really what helped the Vancouver Canucks. He established himself as a first-line forward in the NHL that year, especially with the 74 points. Only the 27 goals, but the 47 assists really, really helps him out there. And again, 8 points in those 6 playoff games. He was easily the best player. And I think any concerns of, hey, can this guy perform in the playoffs, immediately went away there. With the no goals in the previous 12 games, he gets 3 and 6, including 5 helpers. And the next year he continues and he shows up even more. In 13-14, he plays all 82 games again. 38 goals, which is 5th in the NHL. 48 assists. 86 points, which is 6th in the NHL that year. Anton Kuryanov has officially arrived. He is getting better and better, and he just continues to. In 8 playoff games, he has 5 assists as the Vancouver Canucks sweep in the first round and then get swept in the second round, unfortunately for them. However, they do finally get out of the first round. The big talking point, though, is Kuryanov, 38 goals in the regular season, 0 in the playoffs. Both teams that the Vancouver Canucks faced did not need to target Kuryanov a whole lot. They did not need to look at them and say, hey, Kuryanov's the guy we really need to worry about. He was a guy that absolutely was in the background for that playoff run. However, he gets traded, and it's actually an interesting situation because he signs a contract with the Vancouver Canucks, and what would actually come out later was that it was very much a sign and trade. However, at the time the trade could not be announced, as they had traded him during the playoffs. The trade was confirmed by the NHL during the playoffs. However, because Kuryanov was playing with the Vancouver Canucks in those playoffs, he couldn't be traded. But May 28th, he signs a 4-year extension worth $12.5 million. And just like with the rest of the NHL, every time a player signs a contract that big, the immediate concern is he just cashing in, and can he follow it up? Because Kuryanov at this point has had 2 really good seasons for career years. He has had 2 really good seasons where he has produced and then has gotten paid for it. But he's traded again. And it's again a weird situation because June 14th, he is punched in the head by head coach John Tortorella. Tortorella is immediately let go because you have a player who scores 86 points in the regular season. Yeah, you're going to get rid of your head coach for that. And then Kuryanov, again, like I said, gets traded. So you have a situation where the head coach punches the player. The head coach is definitely in the wrong, so you sack the head coach and trade the player. You get rid of them both. And there were actually rumors about John Tortorella going to St. Louis that were immediately silenced by St. Louis trading for Anton Kuryanov in exchange for Artem Zub, Steve Bernier, a 2014 first-round pick, and a top-5 protected 2016 first. So this was a draft day deal on the first day of the draft. Kuryanov was very visibly upset about being traded to St. Louis. He's spoken out. He said that he did like playing in St. Louis. However, he wanted to be in Vancouver. And with how he played between the two teams that year, it definitely shows. He plays 24 games in St. Louis, 13 goals, 10 assists, 23 points. And then he gets traded again. He is traded back to the Vancouver Canucks along with Alex Pietrangelo in exchange for Jonathan Huberdeau, Brendan Carlo, Tom Wilson, Boston's 2015 first-round pick, and a 2016 first that was St. Louis's own. So the top 5 protected first that the Vancouver Canucks got immediately wiped out as the St. Louis Blues just reacquired that in the trade back to the Vancouver Canucks. And Kuryanov shows that he missed playing in Vancouver. In 58 games, he puts up 36 goals, which the 49 goals that he would combine between St. Louis and Vancouver that year is 3rd in the NHL, 38 assists, 74 points in Vancouver, which combined makes 97. He is 4th in the National Hockey League in point scoring. He gets into 12 playoff games, and this is the run of all runs. In only 12 playoff games, 10 goals, 8 assists, 18 points. Very, very Lars Eller-esque. Lars Eller had a run a couple years ago in the playoffs where he had 10 goals, where the New York Rangers got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and Lars Eller put up 10 goals in that playoff run. He actually led the league in playoff goal scoring that year, and he just hasn't been able to find it since that playoff run, unfortunately. Very, very, very big candidate for the John Druce Award, in my opinion. But Kuryanov puts up 10 goals, 18 points, 12 playoff games, and again, completely silenced any criticisms that there might have been for him. If you're on the pessimistic side, you might look at that and say, hey, Kuryanov got 10 of his total, got a good portion of his total career playoff goals in that one playoff run. And then some of us would look at that and say, touche. In 15-16, he plays, Kuryanov had a great playoff run, like I said, and it kind of solidified him as a top 5 player in the NHL, and he would easily follow it up that year. In all 82 games, he scores 55 goals, 4th in the National Hockey League. So Kuryanov has had a season where he has 5 goals, 3 goals, where he is 5th, 3rd, and 4th in league goal scoring, 45 assists, 100 points. That is 2nd in the NHL, only behind Artemi Panarin, who put up, I believe, 3 or 4 more points. And in 11 playoff games, he puts up 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points, and he wins the Hart Trophy that year. Anton Kuryanov, who has not won many awards. He was, some would definitely argue at this point, rightfully not voted for the Most Surprising Player Award, the Jimmy Hayes Most Surprising Player Award. I would argue At the time, definitely he should have been awarded that. However, looking back with hindsight, definitely did not deserve the Most Surprising Player award, given that he is one of the best players in the NHL now. And interesting to note, in 2015-16, December 1st, 2015, exactly a year to the day after he gets traded back to Vancouver, he gets a hat trick against the Los Angeles Kings. December 5th, 2 games later, he gets a hat trick in Boston. December 7th, 2015, he gets a hat trick in Quebec. So Anton Kuryanov puts up 3 hat tricks in 4 games. That is an NHL record. No NHL player before has scored 3 hat tricks in 3 games or 4 games. Kuryanov is probably the closest that a player will ever come to hitting that record. Anton Kuryanov, 3 hat tricks, like I said, in 4 games. I don't think any player will ever hit that again. So, Captain Kuryanov, what awaits of him in the National Hockey League? It's to be seen. Every single season he's gotten better from 34, 54, 62, 62, 74, 86, 97, 100 points. He has gotten better every single season in the NHL. He is probably the best player in the NHL, not on the Florida Panthers, because of course, Artemi Panarin, Jaromir Jagr put up a great season last year. Alex Ovechkin in Montreal definitely has a big contentionship for that second best player in the NHL, or even the best player in the NHL. Interesting to note as well, in that 15-16 season, he has 55 goals. He's only 4th. He's technically second, because the top 3 players who finished in that Maurice Richard trophy voting, in the Maurice Richard race, all had 56 goals. Kuryanov was 1 goal away from being tied for first. And, of course, infamously, it came down to the 82nd game in overtime, and Kuryanov passed. Kuryanov passes on the game, on his league-tying 56th goal, to pass it over to Alex Pietrangelo. Passes it to Cam Barker. And he gets 45 assists on the year. Either way, he does finish with 100 points. I think Kuryanov was probably more excited for 100 points over 56 goals because he knows he can hit that. He passed on 56 goals to ensure Vancouver win. That's the type of player Kuryanov is. If he finds the open pass, he will get it to you. If he can find an open pass and ensure a goal more so than him scoring, he will do that. And, Anton Kuryanov, very, very good offensive player. His defensive game's a little underrated, too, I think. Kuryanov has been known to deliver a nice big hit once in a while. Not being a massive player himself, but he has been known to deliver a body check once in a while, get on the defensive side of things occasionally, and so his totals in 656 career NHL games thus far, he scored 263 goals, 306 assists for 569 points. Stop giggling. And in 56 playoff games, 16 goals, 31 assists for 47 points. What awaits Kuryanov this year? Maybe 60 goals? I don't know. His line mates in Vancouver have gotten better. As the overall team, you could argue has gotten better, but you could also argue has gotten worse. Defensively, maybe. But I think there's no doubt in my mind that Kuryanov is going to hit 100 points again this year. Maybe 110. Could 120 be possible? I don't know, because then he'd have to top that next season. But in 16-17, one of my players that I would absolutely look at is Anton Kuryanov. If you're in a fantasy pool, you might want to take him. I don't know how far up you'd want to take him, because Florida top line is going to be goated. Montreal's top line is going to be really damn good as well. But don't sleep on Anton Kuryanov. If he's available in your 4th or 5th round somehow, I don't see how he would be. Pick him, because Kuryanov has shown that he absolutely has what it takes to stay in the NHL, and he is a bona fide superstar. He is a superstar. You could argue generational talent. Also, the best player born out of Kazakhstan. That is going to do it. Thank you, guys. I have more videos coming down the pipeline sometime in the future. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And post your thoughts and any comments in the comment section below. Which players you would like me to cover next up. And, this is the HRHSL guy. Bye.